Romhack Races Week 366, Metropolis Part 1 by Circle Friendo and CO Kadelic. I am looking forward to this. I like both of them. Welcome to Metropolis. Oh, I just entered the level. I hope this is Metropolis Part 1. Up. I can... No, that's not it either. Found a few that you not build with make flags. Can't dig around with it too much. Ah, fair. You said 1% of the messages. Up, up, up. Oh, I can climb on this. It took me way too long to figure out. Your emotes are very heavy emote heavy for this channel. I mean, yeah. Also to Matt, your URLs are actually public, so if you want to share it, you can just share it with people. It requires logging in so that I know what your user ID is, because I didn't trust other parts. And it does disambiguate names, so it will use older names if you had an older name in a different year. This is an interesting aesthetic. Or we're supposed to optimize something, but the previous iteration made it 1 time slower. Oh, that's a classic. Nothing quite like the I tried using 03 and it didn't do what I expected. Because really what you wanted was OS. It's a remix of a Pokemon TCG song. Huh. Yeah, I did not recognize this. But yeah, though, the rap stuff is public. Just, it required you to log on to know where it was. Otherwise, you can just grab a URL. If you know someone's ID, you can throw it in there if you want. Like, it's a thing. Said more than 1/6 of all emotes. Someone has to do it. Other thing I was considering, it worked. Say his name and he appears. I don't recall saying Fries, but okay. I said it earlier. It was like, oh no, Fries isn't here. I have to do his job. Also, how you doing, Fries? I don't love this background. I keep thinking that the purple parts are meaningful, and it's throwing me off. I'm not sure what I expected. Hey, and Knuckles. And Knuckles. And Knuckles. Yeah, I'm still trying to think of other things to put in there. Probably also I should tabulate some, like, interesting overall stats. That's one thing I didn't do much of. Was, like, what were all of the character changes? What were all of the redeems and all that? Which are things I probably should tabulate, but I probably should also keep me out of the lists. So... because, like, when I'm using something, it usually means I'm testing it behind the scenes. But anyway, the data goes back to, like, 2019. I think there's very sparse data in 2019, but there's good data in 2020 and 2021 forward. Like, basically, that's when I made the database stuff reliable. Before then, it wasn't reliable, and I only occasionally made sure it worked. So take anything in 2020 to do with a little bit of salt, but that's how most people took things in 2020. Or took things about 2020. They ended up doing, like, the finishing touches for that on the airplane on the way back. Gave me something to do. Okay, cool. Not the good way of doing that, but I understand what to do now. Yeah, I'm also not really sure how to represent, like, the global stuff in there. Well, the way I've designed it's a bit slapdash, but part of the reason I didn't do it... I didn't do it last year, or the year before whenever I started, was because the code to parse out stuff got really complicated, and I was trying to, like, figure out exactly how many streams people had showed up for. Because I have enough data of the right kinds to figure that out, but it's kind of scattered to the wind, and some of it I had to make up wholesale. well, not make up wholesale, but like rederive from first principles. So for instance, I don't have like dates of every stream ever. Actually, I do. But I don't have the durations. But I can get the durations from the VOD files. And so, like, I ended up doing all of this work to create this information, and then I completely didn't do anything with it. One of those, the perfect is the enemy of the good sort of things. Okay. Right, I have a hard time reading this level in terms of, like, what objects, what's a background and what's important. I keep thinking, like, these metal, like, patches, I guess? Oh, that's semi-solid. Just join left table. If only these things weren't in different databases. Make it even worse, I had a plan to add some of this information to one of the databases and got halfway through it and then completely stopped and forgot about it. So, like, the VOD cutter could easily put this information into the database as it's being created. And then I didn't. I did make the necessary database changes. I'm also was looking at SQLite, and apparently they now have, they have more than first-class support for, JSON stuff, which is something I should look into, because, you can store JSON pre-parsed in SQLite if you use the right data type now, and that seems more efficient than what I'm doing, which is stringifying things. And if it knows it's JSON, then it might JSONify it on the way out. So... yeah, it is indeed hacks, but it's Kaizo. These things happen. Okay. You switch to Mongo and never look back. Honestly, the reason I love SQLite is I don't have to do any thinking about administrating it. Because it's just one file somewhere. Oh, NoSQL's hacks? Yes. Yes, it is. That's fair. NoSQL can work really well depending upon, what your data structure is, but honestly, I am already kind of abusing my SQLite to be a time series database, which, yeah, clearly they could be better infrastructure for this. I could do something else. I don't need to. I'm not processing that much data. Admittedly, one of these databases is getting pretty huge. It's over 100 megabytes in size, the one that holds the chat data for this. Oh, I do need that. What's funny is I didn't even notice the character sprite change. I was just like, oh yes, I understand what's being asked of me now. Did I miss these? Yeah. It's been nice not having so many ads, but it's okay. I'm also 80% sure that you definitely bought the ad thing the most. I'd have to double check, but... oh yeah, that's what this reminded me of. This part here kind of reminds me of Mission Impossible. That's what it reminds me of. Anyway, what else did I get done when I was on the East Coast? I feel like I had a few different stream projects that I got some progress on. Beyond that, did up Dark Forces. I did a bunch of editing for that one. Not actually good editing, but you know. But basically fixing up the sound balance on all of the cutscenes because it was so atrocious. Only redeemed ads 4 times. I would say that is definitely accurate. The data for this year is very accurate, especially redemption stuff, because in order for redemption stuff to work, it has to go over the wire anyway. So it's probably correct. I get the feeling we're gonna find out. Wait, what? You know, it's odd, but I didn't notice that they were blue and green ones. Nice try! Miku only recognizes things that can be encoded into Shift JIS. which means know most everything. Though I probably should hard code that rather than having Miku say it again. Because, like, we don't really need her to say, I don't think so. I don't need her to actually redo that one. Let me think about this one for a minute. That doesn't seem right. Can never tell. It's true. Look, she tries, but honestly, this was far before there was bilingual Miku. Not to mention there are probably better ways of doing Vocaloid than what I've done. I have considered, like, letting people pick their own TTS, because, like, I have 2 implemented, and I actually meant to make it random, so, like, 1 time out of 10 you get the B-17 bomber. What am I supposed to do here? I get the feeling I'm going too fast. But, like... yeah. Family visit went well. Oh, it did! Yeah, I could talk a bit about that. Went up to PAX Unplugged in Boston, in Philly, which was lovely. Saw my sister, who was very pregnant, and hung out with those entire multiple times. Yes. Yes, I can. Thank you for that idea. Because, man, I was not thinking that. This is a 3. No. But yeah, that went well, and I bought the Lord of the Rings card game. It's a trick-taking game, but it's a collaborative one, so it's kind of fun. And as you go through the story, the rules change a bit. So it's like kind of a lightish legacy game. And at $20, it was pretty much reasonable. Wish I could have gotten the Two Towers one, because I just got the Fellowship of the Ring one. And they were selling the Two Towers ones, but a limited number every day. So like 100 or 200 every day, and I would have needed to have gotten there a lot earlier on Sunday. And considering how late we stayed out on Saturday, it was for the best. Oh, right, I was gonna hit that again. Then I went to DC via train, and unfortunately got sick as I was on the train. Gotta wait a little bit longer than that. Spent the next few days sick before Thanksgiving, which sucked. And I was mending around Thanksgiving, but it's still kind of not 100% there. There we go. Hey, it does the scrolling thing! I was too busy admiring the scrolling thing. But yeah, funny, and then I picked up my sister from the airport a little bit after that, for Thanksgiving, because she was at visit my dad down south and got him. So I went on to the Yeti, the t-shirt place, and had bought one of their t-shirts of the day that I thought was cute, being a Moogle version of the Buc-ee's logo. And I thought, my dad needs this. So I sent my sister down with 2 things. The t-shirt packet that nobody knew what was in it, because I just left it in its packaging that they'd sent it to me in. And the penguins I got for him. The Suica penguins. Why did that explode? Oh, we race it. Which are becoming a rare commodity now because they're retiring those penguins. Anyway, the really funny bit was my dad knew that it was going to be a Buc-ee's t-shirt somehow. I didn't tell him this, but he just kind of intuited it. Anyway. But she was also sick, so we had kind of a sad week after that. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Did hang out with my little nephew a little bit. That was fun. point of the mole? Not really racing the mole, because the mole moves back and forth. He's not a forward mole. He's a bi-directional mole. Close. Went to the National Mall. Honestly, pretty good. Oftentimes, the National Mall can be kind of hit or miss. Hishorn hadn't updated anything, but they're in the process of renovating for a new exhibition, which is nice. Saw some lovely watercolors at the National Gallery, which I was pretty happy with. And there was a really good exhibit at the National Museum of the Native American, or American Indian, which is a really long museum name. There we go. Okay. And yet it moves. Did I want this? I really don't know. Lower. But probably the coolest thing I saw at the Smithsonian was an exhibit at one of the museums I don't go to too often, because it's basically across the street from the White House, and a surprising distance away from the National Mall. So I went all the way over there, which required going a bit further out of the way, because apparently the national Christmas tree lighting was that day. Oh. Oh, that's... I can't read this level to save my life. Oh. What else? Oh yeah, that was it. The museum. I forget the name of it. It's a relatively small one as far as Smithsonian museums go. But the entire set of exhibits was mostly around the prize-winning things from state fairs. And so there were some lovely quilts and other needlework. There were a surprising number of chairs. And unlike an awful lot of exhibits that I've been to, they were... Sitting was encouraged. So I got to sit on some of these things. There are also a lot of benches where the bottom part of the bench is a broom, and I still don't get it. I can make this work. I don't think this was intended. I didn't trust it. But yeah, that was lovely. They also had a cow made entirely of butter, which was in its own little refrigeration unit and everything. It was really cool. Well, big refrigeration unit. It's a freaking cow. And it was real-life cow-sized. So... Okay, that's solid. But yeah, that was a really fun one. And the Native American Museum also had a really good one, which was this one native artist's bit where he really enjoyed making things that looked like water, but worked mostly in the medium of like willow wood, or just wood in general. But not like carving, but like taking out like strands of wood to try to make them look like rivers. It was really interesting. I always appreciate a good art exhibit that at least makes me think a little bit. Also did see the National Archives thing, which I saw Jason Scott mention, so I figured I had to go see it, in part because it includes AI, because everyone loves AI in their National Archives. I guess you can't spell National Archives without using the letters A and I suppose. Wait. No. Oh, wait, no, Archive does have an I. Well. But, like, it turned out that to use the AI stuff, you had to have got a ticket. And the National Archive, unlike a great number of things, doesn't really require you to have a ticket to go see the archives. It's just not that popular outside of, like, major tourist season. Also, why am I doing this way? Like, what's the point of freezing this when I could just jump off of it? Like, do I need the blue in this state in order to proceed? I presume so. Okay. Switching from the right line guide to the left bugs you? Yeah. I'm certain this is cheese. Can I get back up? Yes! Oh. That was nice of them. What was I supposed to do there? Same with top and bottom, yeah. Anyway, the actual exhibits were actually pleasant. Like, it's the National Archives. It's just, there's going to be some sort of documents and the story behind them. There were a lot of interesting ones. I've never seen, like, the original, like, Title IX document. I think there was one about founding of state of national parks from Teddy's time. It was quite good. Oh, that was it. You need to maintain P-speed. Okay. What? I think this will work, because but I want the moon. I want the moon. No. No. That's the cycle I want. Where they're both at the same height. I think it's one more. You know, maybe their periods don't line up well. Okay, that's too low. Well, maybe I can get this one to be a little bit lower. Because, like, the first one doesn't matter for our plan here. Okay, alright. This is coming together, I think. I think this will work. Wait. Yeah. We'll see if it gets me the moon. Come on! Come on! Moon get! Moon get! Yes! That was worth the effort. I think. Alright, let's see. Thanks for the GG. Let's look at the credits. I wanted the moon. It wasted a lot of time. Alright, yeah. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. That must be why the theme was kind of weird sounding. Sky Tower, ported by Lumi. Pokemon XY Boutique by Bebin. Leg. Pokemon... Oh, TCG. Never mind. Club Master Duel, arranged and ported by Quantum. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, I guess, DPP. Route 210 Day, ported by Sinsega. Never seen that person's name before. And Pokemon DDP Global Terminal by Kevin. What else we got? Resources on-off platforms by Coopster, tested by Mithrillionaire and Java Brew. Stay tuned for part 2 next week! Or, you know, just like now. Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. Ah, okay. Wait, oh yeah, because Crystal was the other part of the gold, silver set, not Platinum, right? In my mind, I grouped the metal ones together, which is not correct. Anyway. Yeah, good level. I was confused in some parts because of how the graphics look, and since there's no mention about who made the graphics, I'm going to assume they were made either by CO or Circle. But it's hard to know. Anyway, let's check out week 2.